Hi, I'm Craig MacCormack. I'm the digital editor for security sales and integration. I'm joined today by Michael Peveler. He's the vice president of sales for AtlasIED. Hey, Michael, how you doing today?
Great, Craig. Great. Thrilled to be here, man.
Great, and I appreciate you doing this. We're gonna have three questions for you. We'll start off with the first one. What are some of the recent developments and trends in mass communications, and what are you, as a company, doing to address those?
Yeah, so in the security world, it's pretty interesting because the need to innovate comes from two different things. One, legislation. So a simple example of that is the adoption of ELISA's law. We've seen that happen in the education space. It started in Florida, it moved to New Jersey and New York. It's moved into other states, including Texas, where I'm from. But in Texas, it's a two-sentence law. So there's a lot of room for interpretation because a lot of detail is not written out. So as a manufacturer, we have to figure out how to help our clients, in this case, our education clients, to meet the standard of ELISA's law. The other force that comes in is the development of technology, and that forces evolution as well. And so part of ELISA's law that we try to work on meeting from a compliance standpoint is not just that you press a panic button and therefore someone knows their panic button was pressed, but if our system's in room 207, we want to make sure that when they press that panic button that they know that it came from 207, not only in a front office, but in the peace app that's actually going to the first responders so they know where that panic button was initiated. So for us, our partnership with SingleWire and their product Informacast allows our systems to communicate, and they tie into a larger ecosystem of partners, including those apps for the Peace app, so that when that message is pressed, not only do we get that emergency notification throughout the entire facility, right? We get visual and audio notification, which is what we do with our product, but tying into the Informacast product, which is available on our price list, all ties into one system to make sure that we meet both the regulatory requirement, which is, or the legislative requirement, regulatory if we go into industrial, and we also meet and are compatible with the technology developments that are required to make sure that it's not just the panic button, but it's a panic button with the point of initiation designated. So we continue to work to be compatible with manufacturers like that. SingleWire is a huge part of our system. And we work together as two manufacturers. We sell together. Our executive teams talk to each other. Product management people talk to each other to make sure that we're fully compatible. So we're meeting our customers' needs, whether that's in education, healthcare, industrial, corporate, whatever the application.
Okay. Second question I have for you today. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about artificial intelligence and its role in the security space. How would you say that AI is emerging as a factor in threat detection these days, and what's your company's role in pushing that forward?
Well, so yeah, we kind of, and I'm stealing again from a partner's theme, but detection, we detect, notify, and then manage, and we focus a lot on from our part of the pie, the notification piece, but through partnerships and through compatibility, we're getting a lot more into the detection piece. And the detection piece is where you find AI living right now. I mean, it is such a core part of the detection. So the old school detection of, hey, a door opened, so therefore if someone's trespassing, which was just a simple contact closure, it's still there and there's still a need for it, but we're seeing evolution at just an incredible rate. So at a simple level, we partner and make sure our products are compatible with things that can do stuff like loud noise detection, which is quite often very AI driven, right? We can tie into stuff like gunshot detection, vape detection. All of that uses a certain element of AI. But even more exciting for us is that we partnered with a company called AtlasIED. And AtlasIED is an AI camera solution. It's not a camera, but it works with any IP compatible cameras. And it allows us to detect something as small as a spill. So we can identify a potential fall risk because there's a lot of payout, billions of dollars of payout in fall claims, right? So for business owners, that's a big deal. And we can go bigger all the way up to, someone pulling a weapon out of a car and putting it under their jacket to take into a building to do something horrific. And if we see that with a camera in the parking lot, we can potentially, using the rest of what we do, we can lock that building down before they make it to the building, right? So we've always said that our IPX solution gives your security system a voice, because our first job is to make sure that everyone on site in the facility has that notification that there's an issue, and they can then follow the proper procedure and the training. With this AI partnership with AtlasIED, our system now has eyes. We can see what's happening out there. We can see if someone falls in a classroom. That could be an individual worker at night who's working overnight and they have a medical issue or something. And that could be, we've seen the videos of teachers being assaulted, kids getting into fights, all kinds of things where we could detect that and send off a notification. And if that notification risk is high enough, then we can do something extreme like lock down a facility if necessary. So that partnership with AtlasIED, which we'll be showing, again, it's on our price list. It's a part of what we sell now as part of the AtlasIED security solution. That's going to be in our booth at ISC West. Our sales reps are out carrying demo gear, showing that, and there's a lot of great reference to that product. Came out of the University of Iowa. Really fantastic solution.
Okay, sounds great. And obviously you've mentioned some of the partnerships and some of the companies that you're working with and manufacturing with and putting products together with and all of that. Why are partnerships and interoperability and vetted ecosystems so important to AtlasIED?
Well, I think, first of all, any manufacturer that thinks they're the isolated solution by themselves is probably, it's a pipe dream, right? I mean, and I've been in the AV space for 25 years. I've seen some pretty big manufacturers, been a part of one of them, where, our goal was to kind of be everything in this space, right? In the security world, it's so critical because what your customer wants to detect is different in every environment we're in. In an industrial application or a healthcare application, the needs for detection, there'll be commonality, but there'll be very unique things to the environment they're being put into. And there's no way we could possibly build a solution to have all those things. So having compatibility, being built on network standards for communication through standard protocols, having simple connection like IO contacts. Again, we build these really complicated APIs sometimes, and then the installer runs a wire and it's set up, right? But having that is critical to providing the end customer the solution. And in the world of security, the consequences a lot bigger than a conference room or a meeting not going off like it's supposed to. They're potentially tragic results. So for us, we are really dedicated to being part of the security world's solution. And being part of that means we're going to do what we do exceptionally well. And I think we've shown that with our product, but these partnerships allow us to expand the reach of what we do, which allows us to help our customers more. And then being able and being open to work with all these other manufacturers allows our solution to become much more robust and again, creates much safer environments for the end customer, which is where we're really focused.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, my pleasure. Always great to get together and see you, man.